Alright, today, Wednesday, the 14th of June, what have we got? We're going to be doing a mini renovation on Howard's front lawn. On Monday, I put a wetting agent on, managed to get a load of water in, so we've managed to get on top of the watering situation. So I've turned up today, it's looking fine all over, so we can finally crack on with our mini renovation. So let's show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, first job, we're going to be scarifying. Now, I want to do a bit more than just a groom scarification here, because this has had nothing done to it since we did the Fit for a King lawn video, which is like 6 or 7 weeks ago now. All it's had is Pro, Grace and the wetting agent to keep it going. We've just been in a position where to put any granules on there would have been grass suicide, so we've not bothered. But today, like I said, we're in that position to do so. So first up, get the scarifier on, give it a really good C&2, double pass perhaps. We'll see how it goes, we'll see how it holds up after one, but I might just do two, and then we'll get on with some liquids, some granular, and then this is ready for the second half of the season. Okay, so I'll just show you up close. We're in the shade, just out of the sun, so you can see what we're doing. So still got plenty of growth there. We've not done too much damage, so I think we're in a good position. And if it's fine under here, where it's not in the sun a lot and it's not growing as well, if you'd like, you know, normally shady areas are a bit more temperamental than the full sun areas. But if we're in a great position here, we know we're going to be in a better position in the sun. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a second pass, but just slightly deeper this time. If you notice, I don't know if you saw at the start, I started off a bit deeper, but it was just a little bit too deep. So I raised it up and I'm just going to sink it down a little bit. Not as deep as I did then, but just a little bit deeper than it is, and then we'll have a look after, and that should be it. But yeah, you see, just getting rid of all this stuff so it's looking a lot freer, a lot cleaner. And remember, if we want new growth to come through, we need to get rid of some of this stuff just to create some room for it, because otherwise we're going to get disease. Okay, we've really made inroads with that one. That's really took a lot more out. So you can see now, still a lot of necrotic growth in there, but that's just dieback from the drought that we've had. So next time we go over that with a scarifier, we'll try and get some more of that out. But for today, this is fine. What I'll do now is we'll go on with the Rotary number 2, get all this picked up, and then we'll get on with our products. Granular first, then our liquids, then we'll give it a water, and then that's it. Hardly anything to it today. Very efficient, in, out, shake it all about, and then we're gone. Okay, so we're just going to get the hater out. Number 2, double strikes today. Why? That's right, so we've got guidelines for our granular products and our sprayer. After nearly 25 years in the job, you would think I would know not to set off without fuel in the mower, but I keep doing it. I do it every day. I say to myself, I must fill it up before the start of the next job. Get to the next job, just crack on, and then 30 seconds into the job, I remember I didn't fill up and I run out. So I did the same here, so I've just filled it up, so we're ready to go. This is back to the old hater. My new one is just in storage now because I've had this fixed. Bill Morris, Wigan, did us a turn, got it all fixed, so we can revert back to the older one and use this again and save the new one for a later date. This is about 2 years old now, so every 2 years you just need to have a little bit of work done. Spent 300 quid on it, but it's good now for another couple of years. So like I said, we'll keep the new one newer and we'll just run this into the ground. Beautiful. Okay, so in the main, we're in a good place. There's just a few areas where we've started to get that Brillo pad effect. So I'm not too concerned, because what I'm going to do is I've just got to nip out for some lunch. Patch there, and a patch on this end. So before I go, I'm just going to get the super duper irrigation hose out, and I'm literally just going to drown these for a couple of seconds, and then by the time I get back after lunch, that'll be fixed and we can just crack on with the products. If it was widespread and all over, I wouldn't even bother putting the fertilizer on. Maybe Risa liquids, but not the granular. But I know because we've caught this early, it'll be back in no time, so we're safe to go on with the granular product. So yeah, so I'm hungry. I'm going to get my lunch. And before I go, I just want to show you around the side, and I'll show you what we've took off. I've put it in the bin, but forgot to show you. I'll show you up close as well. See the grooves created. Very windy as well, so that's lovely. That's just going to blow through there. Form of aeration, so who says I don't do aeration? Alright, so I've just taken off all that, just off that front lawn. Even though it got cut on Monday, we've just scarifying it, stood it all up on end, cutting it on number 2. Even though it was cut on number 2 on Monday, we still managed to take all this off. So we've managed to get deeper in. All that growth just feels really dry. Just crying out for some rain, good rain. Rain is just so much better than tap water. Don't know why, probably like we said before, it's got all the chemicals in it, but even that, it's just so much better. It's just the gravity it creates behind it, or it can just penetrate more than water can off the tap, I think. Okay, so I'm back just over an hour since I left, watered that, and as you can see now, it's come back lovely, long here as well, looking absolutely fine. So we're good to crack on. Okay, so the sun's got in mostly on this side. We can see now the vert cutting lines. Lovely, wind blowing through them. Ready to accept our feed and our products, our liquid products. And then that space can get filled in with new growth. So we're in a good position. No disease yet, which is great. So I'm really pleased with how this is looking. Yeah, it could be better, but that'll come when the products kick in a week. So what we're going to do now is get on with the equilibrium. So let's go do it. Alright, now it's time to go on with the equilibrium. We've got our double stripes ready, so we like to use this to cover fuller widths of the mower, so it's like 2 double stripes. 1855 NPK, calcium, magnesium, polyhalite and mycorrhizae in there, so this is a really good summer fertiliser. It'll give us a lovely deep green colour, 50% coated like I said the other day, so we're going to get a nice hit of nitrogen which is going to be utilisable straight away within a couple of like 4 to 5 days when that breaks down, and then the rest will kick in over time. And that polyhalite is going to give us that lovely bluish greeny tinge that we get, and that's actually mined up in near Whitby, just north of Whitby in a mine, and that's the only place in the world where you can get polyhalite from. So I've actually seen that. I drove past it just by chance last year when I was at Whitby and went watching football in this pub. I can't remember where it was, but I remember seeing it, and I looked up and it was the mine, and it stretches all the way under the North Sea, so it's harvested from under the North Sea. So let's get it on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on at 30. I've got a couple of bags in the van, so if I run out I can always top up. But if you're not confident enough to do that, what you can do is, what I always say, is weigh out exactly what you need, and then you go on a really low rate, but just multiple times, up and down, left and right, whatever way you want, and then that'll ensure you get a nice even application. So let's get on with it. Good thing about this fertiliser as well is that there's no iron in it, so if we're getting it on the paths, we'll still sweep it up, but we don't have to do a great job if we don't want to. We don't have to get every last morsel up because it's not going to stain. Alright, so we're now ready to go on with our liquids. What are we going to go on with? We've got Dan's Magic Liquid Lawn Feed, we've got Stella, Grace and Orbit today. We've already put the wetting agent on earlier on in the week, so that's already in, watered in, done. So we're going to put the Dan's Magic on. This is nitrogen feed, urea, 7%. Now why are we putting this on and the equilibrium? This is going to give us instant access to nitrogen, because we're going to have to wait 4 or 5 days for that to kick in. This is utilisable straight away. So the minute this gets watered in, It's in a form where the plant can take it up straight away. It's got calcium with it as well, so we're going to get really strong leaf. And what calcium is also good for is keeping the root hairs alive. On your roots, you've got these little root hairs, and they're the ones that pick up all the nutrition, but these die off every few days and then replenish, whereas calcium helps keep those alive for longer, so it stops that from happening. We've got Stella. Why are we putting that on? Seaweed with some amino acids, a biostimulant mixed in. Remember Cratachid 3? Don't know if you ever saw that, but the bonsai gets ripped out of that hole where they go abseil down, and then Mr. Miyagi fixes it, and Daniel says, hey, we fixed it, and Mr. Miyagi says, it has strong roots, just like you. Well, our plant needs a strong root. If we've got strong roots, we've got everything we need to take everything else that we're putting in up into its system. So if we've got rubbish roots, then our products are just going to go to waste because they're not being able to get picked up. So that is great for that. We've got our Grace, which is our vitamins, which is going to get rid of any free radicals knocking about, which are oxidized cells. And then we have got our Orbit, which is great for the shady areas, which is the carbohydrates, which is the food in which it makes through photosynthesis. We've got that in there. We've got the beeswax in there as well, which is great for photosynthesis because it makes it more utilised. It takes more out of the sun, so we're getting more efficiency out of the sunlight. So, without further ado, let's get all these on and then get it watered in, and then we can go on. Okay, products are on, all on. If you remember when we first did this area was the worst area because it just didn't get any sun until earlier on this year, and even then it was really slow. But now it's like the best bit of the garden because it's just getting that right amount of sun, right amount of shade, right amount of water, and it's just come through lovely. So if you just have a look up close, absolutely superb. Now as the weather gets better in terms of cooler and we get a bit more water on there, we can really start to work on closing this carpet up a little bit in terms of getting it shorter, and in turn that'll thicken it up, and we'll try and get it as low as we can so we can get it short, because I would want it shorter than this really. This is the reason we put this in, so we can have it nice and short. But just at the minute, with it being really dry, we're just leaving it as long as we can get away with, and this will protect it from the sun even more so than we've been trying. Been difficult, but we're in sight of the finishing line in terms of this heat wave, and hopefully soon it'll be of this rain forecast for next week. So I think get a good real couple of days of good downpour on it, and then in a couple of weeks we'll have a reveal here, because I've got to do the back yet. We'll do that in another video, and then we'll get some galactic on and we'll have a nice reveal, and we'll get this looking stunning, and it'll be even better than it was on the day we did the fit for a king for the coronation. It'll look even better than that because we've got the sunshine now as well. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is get the water on, give it a good soak, get those products washed in, and the sooner we do that, the sooner they can start working. But yeah, really pleased with how it's gone today.